Okay, in order to connect to the database, that's one, and two, to manipulate the database to populate the model, we're going to need two more libraries. We need the JSON and the Mongo driver. Let's copy that, let's paste it into the lib folder. Let's add these two to the build path. Now they're both in the build path, so now we have access to them. So here, let's return some data by connecting to the database. So the first thing is, we're going to type out this code right here. This represents a connection, or client, the client URL actually that represents. So let's click on that, import it. Then we're going to actually connect. Sorry, not connect, I'm sorry. Set up the Mongo client, and let's import this also. So here goes the address where basically where my server is, and on that server I want this port. The next step is to get a handle of the database, and we're going to do that by running this command right here. We'll tell this to import the database here. And of course we need the name of the database. So let's go back here. I'll type in DB. DB. Let's do an open paren. I'm sorry, not open paren. Let's copy and paste this. And let's put it there. Okay, so far so good. Everything is compiling. Now we need access to the collection. And that's this guy right here. Let's import Mongo, and let's import the documents for BSON. Okay, this is the wrong collection. Let's do, oh, there goes the name of the collection right there. Restaurants. Looks pretty good. So we've seen this before. You've done this in class. Got the collection. Let's set up the loop eventually. What's going to set up the array or the list of data that we get back. Again, I'm copying and pasting code so I don't waste time on the video. This represents a limit. If I don't do this, I'll get back all 3,000 restaurants. So for now, I'm going to limit this to, let's say 10, just for now. And then I'll force the users to create a smarter function eventually. Okay, so now we get back all the rows. In fact, let's make the default, let's say about 50, so I can get enough data back. I'll then do rows. Sorry, let's do a for each. Let's do for E, control space, the for each. That's the rows right there, which is perfect. And now what we're going to do is we're going to iterate through each one of the rows. So let's first create a string that represents the JSON object. The document, which represents the current row, we're going to say here to JSON. This will get that document, which is represented by this curly bracket, beginning curly bracket and ending curly bracket. It'll put that value here, but right now it's a string. We need it to be something that we can actually use. We want that to be a restaurant, so we're going to say here restaurants is equal to restaurants. And we're going to say here JSON, the object, which we haven't declared yet, from JSON, and restaurant. Class. Again, this is complaining because we haven't declared JSON yet. So let me go up here and just declare JSON. Okay, let's save it, see what's happening here. This is complaining. Okay, I said from JSON, which looks right. JSON right here, this is complaining about the class. JSON is a string, restaurant.class. So for some reason this is complaining. Let's move this. Oh, spelled this wrong, that's why. That looks better now. Now let's get that list and add restaurants. Now this is complaining because we never defined a list. So I'm going to say create local variable, list of restaurants. Let's bring it here. There it goes. And the semicolon here. And the next step now is, after you finish with it, you need to close it. So this is what this is warning you about, that you forgot to close this function. So, close this resource. I'm going to say here, close. And of course now, as we're getting the restaurants from the database, it's going to go to this model. We then add it to the list, and of course what we want to return is the list. Now in theory this should work. In the next video I'll go into more details, and with that, good luck and good coding.